And we're back to discuss A Wrinkle in Time. And yeah, it bad. It was extremely slow. Talking about making it into some kind of a political metaphor movie for what's happening today, like, I think that's what a lot of people think it's going to be. And that's a terrible that would be a bad idea. That would be the kind of thing that would drive people away from the theater. So I think that has a part to do in why people aren't seeing it. I think there's people that just don't want... They want to escape. They don't want a political movie. They don't want a political children's movie. They don't want Oprah's politics in particular. All of those sorts of things are like negatives against it. That probably when production started wouldn't have seemed as big of a deal, but I think if it's just so, like, people are just so tired of that at this point. They don't want it kind of rubbed in their face, and there were still like a few like lines or kind of pointed messages in there somewhere that was still like, okay, don't overstep this. Like, you're getting really close to making a political statement with a old kids movie or an old kids story that doesn't have anything to do with this. And it just, like, for not really explaining what A Wrinkle in Time, a Tesseract is, or not explaining it well, there's not much of a story left there. No. Even from the book, like, the book is short, and there's not a lot of action in it anyway. And so to me, it just really felt like, we'll take this well-known title, and it's got these three characters that we can stunt cast.
Yeah.
And we'll put Disney's name on it. And, the majority of that movie, like, is the girl that plays Meg, like, walking around green screens.
Yeah. The whole story still seemed really trite. Even if you take away the three crazy ladies, or the misses, I didn't really feel connected to any of them. Mm-hmm. I didn't really, sure, they all love each other, and yes, she's really attached to her little brother, but I didn't feel that. I don't
feel like there's any story with the misses. Like,
yeah.
Oh, she does this, she does that, done. Like,
yeah.
This strange woman is now in my house.
Yeah, the kid knows.
How did you summon her?
Charles Wallace knows all about it, but he doesn't bother to tell the audience.
No.
Are you going to tell us that you knew and that these people were coming? Or how did you know the street across the house across the street that's abandoned has this woman
this
sitting
other
in there?
Right.
It was confusing. It just seemed like it was the whole story was just full of holes. Like,
and even so,
nothing together.
Even with as little development as it gave to those characters, by the time they finally left their backyard or whatever, I was like, this should have happened 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. Mm. Like, the action of the movie is so slow. Yeah. They do all of that setup in the beginning, and it's like her at school, and they set all those things up, and the payoff for all of those things is like a 20-second flash of what's really going on for all those people, and like the principal's got some rivals, and the mean girl next door has a eating disorder, and it's just like those things get more development than the characters we're going to spend time with for the rest of the movie. And then it's like, so they wait for the 30-minute, okay, now here's the inciting action thing, and they...
How long was the movie?
It's like 90 minutes.
Was there even that long? Because it seemed like there were a lot of previews.
Yeah, it was 90 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like slightly less, but yeah, it was. Yeah, Disney movie is going to be. It's always 20 minutes of previews.
The friend, when she asked, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm just drawn here," and I'm just like,
Lame.
"What? You're just drawn here, and you just decided to show up, and now we're gonna go on this adventure."
Yeah.
Like during that scene, the camera stays on him, but you hear Charles talking, and he's like, "No, you were called here," but like he's not on screen. The
That
camera's
was
not
the part.
focused
Yeah,
on
I think
him.
that is the part that really needed more explanation. What does Charles Wallace know? I think I could have suspended disbelief about the Tesseract part. Like, that makes sense. Their parents were working on it. Their wrinkles in time. Yeah. Where are the three ladies? Where did they come from?
If I remember right from the book, the kid is sort of treated like he's like a child prodigy, and the older sister doesn't really understand him because he's so smart and so he thinks in a different way than everyone else does. And so it's just sort of like it never makes sense in the narrative where he would just stop and explain a bunch of stuff. It's more like he has an understanding that transcends my understanding, and so he just says these things.
So is he more of a central character in the book? Okay.
No. She's the
I didn't know if they sort of
protagonist.
played Meg up to try and get the tween audience. Okay.
No, and I want to say, like, there's, like, the time between, like, when he becomes evil or whatever, like, there's space in there where he's not really around, or, like, he's not quite as there as this movie sort of purports him to be. But then this movie does things like they find Chris Pine, and then for no reason he and Calvin are not seen again until they return back to,
They just run away.
like,
Well,
you see her like walk into the Tesseract without her dad or her friend that she brought.
Well, when
You're
they're
like,
getting pulled down the hallway,
Yeah, I think when they're getting pulled down the hallway, they get out.
They get pulled.
Like,
out
they
of
get
the Tesseract.
home and
She
leave
wasn't
her
going.
because she won't let go.
Oh, okay.
She won't leave without Charles Wallace.
I gotcha.
I think,
After the
right?
beach, I figured they would have like had another scene where they were either racing after the brother or like I think I really wanted another, like, either a beach or
I didn't want another anything.
You wanted
it just
more?
dropped. It just dropped. Like, that would have been a little bit more entertaining to know that they are
Then
chasing.
them just standing in a white
Yeah,
nothing room.
yeah. They had to follow this
They like jumped.
random way to get to find Charles Wallace. It
Yeah, yeah.
They're on the holodeck of the Enterprise with nothing playing. Like,
I
it's just
imagine them in
one
the
room.
Epcot, like, space ball. That's
They're
what
just
I
like,
thought
oh,
was
we
the
ran out
inside.
of green screen money. Here's white. Let's just stand in this white room
Yeah.
and pretend to go up these stairs. Oh, found my dad. Movie's over.
If this were like an original screenplay and not based on a book, I could see people being like all up in arms about the fact that Mindy Kaling's character only speaks in quotes, like famous quotes,
Yeah, that was...
instead of like having her own
Yeah.
dialogue or her own character. She's just like, she quotes things and that tires her out and she goes to sleep. That's her character.
No, isn't it when she gets tired, she can't keep it up anymore?
Yeah,
Well, so she talks
Oprah
in-
can't quite decide what size she wants to be.
And Reese
Oh,
Witherspoon's
there's a lot to say
leaf
there with
of
Oprah's
lettuce.
size.
And it debuted on International Women's Day.
Reese Witherspoon's a leaf of lettuce.
That's not.
That's the best
She's
part of the movie.
she's a human lettuce wrap.
Yeah, she really, yeah.
If there's nothing else to take from this movie, that's it. Like,
So that was your favorite part of
that
the
was
movie?
the best part.
Well,
of the
it was actually, because when I saw that part, I was like, okay, here we go. We're getting like something imaginative
It made me
and
think
colorful
of the,
and interesting.
What's that called from the Neverending Story?
The Luck Dragon.
Yeah, it made me think of the Luck Dragon.
Yeah, but I mean,
fair.
it was a cool design and all of that, and I expected it to just keep going. And here is what that thing did:
Stop.
they flew, like it flew, then they flew, Then one of them fell off. They saw the black thing, and they went and landed. And she didn't save the kid that fell. The flowers did. End of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of transformation. Like, that was super effective. Like, it's just a waste of time. It's just a
It was all
diversion.
about outfit
Look at
changes.
this
They were
magic
blowing
trick.
through that budget, man.
And I was fine with, like, the, like, design of their makeup and wardrobe changing, like, every time they went
That was
somewhere.
fine.
That was fine. But it was just like, Reese Witherspoon can turn into a flying lettuce wrap, and we never use that power again. And none of the other ones do anything remotely
Exciting.
exciting like that. So
I kind of wanted Oprah to become
Yeah.
teeny tiny.
Actually, you know, the best part of the movie was Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, we
Like,
didn't. Yeah.
His character just being so
Like
meh
mellow.
is exactly how I felt in this entire movie. It's like he's the audience surrogate.
yeah,
We're just gonna be in the middle. Balance.
Just like, meh. Meh.
I had kind of forgotten he was in the movie.
But you were saying
I'm
that
sure
you
all the
wanted
other
her to be
actresses.
tiny.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
in Tim Burton, the Through the Looking Glass, the second Alice movie he did. Sacha Baron Cohen's the best part of that.
Yeah.
And he's the villain of the movie. He's like the clock master or whatever.
Yeah.
But like
Try again.
those movies are more interesting. Like there's problems. Like the third act of the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movie is just a nightmarish mess. But at least it was interesting. At least it was doing something.
But that movie also gives you enough backstory on the characters that you actually care.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing in this one is, oh, she misses her dad, but the only thing we really know about her and her dad is her dad gave her this weird heart cube. And that's it.
Which didn't have a payoff.
And the
Which didn't have
locket,
a payoff
which
at all.
came from nowhere.
Which
But she just
they only had shots of her
thing.
covering half of his face with her finger. She's showing it to the
She always has her
flowers.
thumb over.
It's like, have you seen this man? Have you seen him? Like, what? What?
Oh, they speak in color.
It wasn't quite as effective
What?
as the T-1000.
Oh, I speak color.
It might be better if you drank while you watched this movie.
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh, you could totally do it.
You would go so.
Drinking game?
Oh, yeah.
You would go to sleep before they.
It's true.
We'd all pass out during the lettuce ride.
I'd be long gone by then. I'd be gone before Oprah was on the screen. All right.
Is it the schoolyard?
Yeah.
Don't go watch this.
I don't think we have to tell people.
Yeah.
Like,
They figured it out by this point in the video.
I think it's already like got the taint on it. So
Ooh.
I'm not saying whose. I'm just saying it's got
The tank.
the taint. Thanks for watching. That's Wrinkle in Time. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.